Why is it meat?
Oh.
Why?
Bring on the
This is one of these things again.
Bring on
where
the conversation.
Claire has probably good points, and she's probably right. But she's definitely in the wrong. Like, she's just wrong.
Well, I mean, I'm down to have the convo when we get there, because like there's a lot to be said about that. I can only speak from my personal perspective, so which is why I feel comfortable. So I don't have any issue. Like I see where I see where you're coming from too. I know exactly where you're coming from. Well, I'll save it for later. That way we have the conversation.
If you're just tuning in, this is crazy.
I have like psychological facts too to back me up. But anyway, go on.
Let's go.
If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I am here for the first time this year and for the first time in a long time with my two best friends.
Oh my God.
Say hi to the people, Claire.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey! Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Booting up, initiate, start
Are we still on
program.
this, is he?
I should have called on Claire last.
Initiate, Logan Post, protocol.
Oh shit, it's still going.
Booting in Mitchell, One. Hey guys.
Oh, excited.
He acts like we got all day. Like, man, I went to work all day. Like, I'm tired. Like,
Logan, like, nigga, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. So we just started the show.
Sorry.
As always, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Milk and Toast, or whatever.
That's what you've been doing?
Yes,
that is how you replace me.
This is how yeah.
It's been so bad.
As always, like and subscribe for the show, and send it to your friends and enemies, of course.
The pressure he would put on me about that bit. He's like, this is your
we've
I
returned to the
understand.
This is
pressure.
your responsibility.
Yes.
You need to make sure people know where to fucking find us.
Yes.
This is your thing, your time. And then I had to go for very valid reasons.
Well, if you're
I missed
back,
you all.
if you're back, like it'll be yours again. So I'll say the whole
Well,
thing
if I
all
can
over
say
again.
me, I have no idea. Maybe I don't want to come back. So.
Claire, you would abandon
Let me
me to
kick
deal
Claire
with
out.
Logan by myself? Don't you even dare. Don't you even dare. How the fuck else am I supposed to put up with you?
I don't know. What you been
Damn,
doing
he
all right,
rolled at
Mitch?
my feet when
That's
I said
because I'm
I'd come.
amazing.
You're amazing.
Yes,
That's
and I
what's
try
going on?
to tolerate people.
Okay.
Me, per
No.
se.
No, you're fine.
He means me.
Yeah, no.
He looks.
That's how it is, Mitch. You come to my house, drink my beer, watch my Disney Plus.
First off, it was your wine. First off.
Oh, that doesn't help your argument.
At all. I'm not trying. I'm trying to make sure they know I'm
Wine
sophisticated. I didn't steal his beer. I stole his wine.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a cheap thief. I'm a fancy one.
All right. How are you guys? How are you,
Good.
Claire? That's what I want to know.
Good, feeling fancy. No,
Aw.
not really. Good, I'm good. I'm actually really well, thank you.
Aw.
This is good.
Anything new in your life? How's your job? How is your life? You guys can't see her, but she's dressed very fancy. She has all the great makeup on.
I don't know if you guys also remember, but there's been a lot of jokes about robes and lack of clothes and bright hair brushes and things. So
Yes.
It's been a journey. I think for me personally, I've always disclaimed on the podcast that I'm a mentally unwell person. I struggle really hard with that sort of thing. I have a really big interest in mental health. So I'm doing a lot better, I'm working now 40 hours a week, and I'm actually taking a lot more care of myself, even though it's so exhausting. Like the other day, my nails grew like really fast. Like, your fingernails. And I was like, these things never grow. Like this, what is this? I'm like, they're so strong and healthy. Like I was so
Oh, yeah.
like I've lost like 6 kilos.
How much is a kilo?
Fuck. I don't know.
Like
Hold on, give me a
3
minute.
pounds or
My
something?
American friend.
Oh, shit. Is
I
it
think
like
so. I think it's like
2.3
3
pounds?
pounds. Hold on, give me a second. I lost 6
I knew it
kilos.
wasn't 5 pounds because metric is never easy like that. So I knew it had to be like some in between
No,
fucking
actually,
number like
metric is
3.
super
isn't
easy.
No, it's not.
Metric is super easy. Customary makes metric complicated.
Yeah.
You know that you and China, the only people. So
Oh, China
1
has a
pound.
customary system too? Oh, I didn't
So
know that.
1 pound is 0.454 kilograms.
How is
Wait.
that easier? Can
0 point.
Because we go by the kilo, not the pound. We don't.
No, I'm saying the
So-
metric system is easier to use, but it's hard for us because we're used to customary.
So I lost 6 kilos.
Which is
So I lost
more difficult.
13.2 pounds.
Oh shit.
Nice.
That's a lot.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go
Go
you.
ahead with your bad self, Claire. Get them gains, Claire.
Claire's like,
Gains.
it's nice. I have money now. I drink water. It's,
My nails are strong.
I'm living an
There's
entirely
no
different
fat.
lifestyle than I've ever lived before, and
I still
like
have plenty of fat, but that's
I've
okay.
never been happier.
No,
I
she's
lost
all
weight off my
glowed
boobs
up.
the other day. I was like, ugh.
No, good man. This is
Rude.
good. This is how life should progress when you have the opportunity.
So let's hear
I
how
think-
horrible you're doing, Mitch.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a good segue. I fucking hate you, but I gotta go with the play.
good, right?
I gotta go with the play because right now things is bad for me again. Like the contract on my job ended, and I'm starting school, but I gotta find tuition. And it's like I'm willing to sell drugs at this point, but it's like
Jesus
shit, I can't sell
Christ.
drugs. I'm also still dealing with my mental health, but like my doctor's office is like kind of annoying. You got to wait so long for an appointment. They were supposed to call me one time. They didn't call at the time that they were supposed to call. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll talk to them later. They call like 30 minutes later. I missed that call. Try to call them back to reschedule and figure out that I'm not even rescheduling for what I thought I was rescheduling for. So it's like, there's that annoyance there. So I gotta do some, this year is going to be a hard reboot. The best thing is I'm in school, and I'm like I've liked what was happening
love
last
that
semester.
view
There's
in
going to be a
life.
lot of cool stuff happening this semester. I have unemployment coming in, and I'm working through things. I'm looking for work. I know that what the process is like, and I have a soul that just will not give up.
Oh, yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Well, because of course I'm filled with hope. You never give up. It's just always annoying because you feel like you should be further in life at this point. And like, that's what I deal with. It ties into my mental health because I be feeling like a failure and I have to be like, yo, listen, the fact is you have failed. Whining about it now is not going to change it. Just do what you can. Keep pushing forward to where you want to be. That's all I got. That's all I can really keep doing. So that's all I'm going to keep doing. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Well,
Never give up, yo.
That's not the worst. You guys.
No, it
sound
isn't.
like
It isn't the worst.
you're
I
in
could
good
be poor,
places.
destitute, homeless. I'm not. I have a roof over my head. My family's doing well. Claire's back on the show to save me from Logan. I mean,
I
things ain't all
don't
bad.
understand why he hates Logan so much. Like, I was just thinking about it. I'm a way worse person.
Oh, is that what you?
Like,
Is that what you really
Logan
think?
Yeah, Logan petty and Logan like miserable, but Logan sensitive.
Logan petty, Logan miserable.
petty, Logan miserable.
Logan
But he ain't
sensitive.
evil in his core being. Like,
I know. That's why I'm trying to be a good person.
This is good. You see, this is for all the years when I was a freshman in college.
I
Claire,
was
you don't
trying
even
then
understand.
too.
I'm talking about my relationship to you, not what you were trying to be. I was there. You weren't doing shit. No,
I was there. You were doing shit.
I'm playing.
Yo, I love
I just like
that.
fucking around. This
It
is
always
me and
goes back
Logan's
to
relationship.
you too.
You always what?
It always goes back to college with you two. Honestly,
That's where
like
we met.
every time I'm like,
Well, you know what?
Logan's
It's
not
better.
that bad. Mitchell's like, yeah, but in college, he stuck a rat to some guy's hand, like something just really obscure.
I wish I had stories like that. I wish I had stories like that to tell.
I mean, no. You don't have any stories to tell.
That's just like the most harmless thing I can think of.
I got stories to tell.
I was remembering some stories myself, and I was like, no, Mitch does not have stories.
Not those stories.
Zero stories to tell.
No, I have plenty of stories to tell. I just not those stories she's talking about.
That is fucked up, is what I can think of at least.
Yeah. But, it's nothing personal. It's just,
nothing personal.
My thing is, I don't strike first. I always fight in defense. Okay, so if like it happened to somebody, it happened because of them. Like it didn't happen because of me. What, Claire?
Claire, your reaction is exactly my face because I'm like, you just pulled the fucking Reggie Miller, bro. I'm sorry, Claire. Do you know who Reggie Miller is? Oh, okay, cool. So everyone like, the fuck talking about, yo, I don't know what it is. I got a halo on my head. It's like, Reggie, we saw the fucking game, bro.
You petty. Okay, let's go back to what I said before about you petty. And see, here's the thing with Logan. He'll be like, I'm striking second. They striked first. He will. Like, his reaction is always twice of what happened to him. So this is an example. Like, some chick in the street can just, like, bump him, and he'll turn around and fucking trip her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, such an escalated reaction. Like, it'll be like, they did something to me first. But it'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. I just spilled coffee on your pants. And he'll be like, that's okay. And then in his head, he'll be thinking about how he can just, like, get a pressure hose full of coffee and absolutely wreck their entire house. Like, he's so petty. It's like nothing. Things people do to him is, like, nothing. And he's like, well, they acted first. So what I'm doing is justified. And I was like, no, it's not.
It's like,
no, it's not.
Why isn't it?
The fuck.
They deserved it.
Logan, your spirit animal's
There are
Medea.
so many people out in the world who deserve shit. And if I could only just harness your evil powers for good, I would point you in the way. Like, I'm all like, we should, like, burn down that village of pedophiles. And you're like, nah. But that chick over there, she's got coffee on my pants. I'm like, where are you going? What are you doing?
Yo, that's such a good way to describe you, bro.
What are you doing? Like, I'm evil, but I harness it for good. Where he's good, but he harnesses it for evil. Like, I don't know.
This is kind of, this is very insightful conversation. Please carry on.
Just when she was like, nah.
Nah, that chick's still going.
Yeah, she was upset. She's like, how you not letting me get rid of the pedophiles? I was with her on that one, not gonna lie.
Oh my god. So Claire's back.
Yeah! Talk your shit, Claire!
Oh my god. Listen, Claire, is there anything you wanted to say about the show since you've been gone?
Y'all are nothing without me. No, I'm kidding.
Damn.
I'm kidding. No, it's been weird from the outside. It really has. And, like, sometimes, like, I went through a portion where I was like, I'm not going to listen because it's so sad. I just miss him. And then I listened, and then I didn't listen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just went through portions of listening but not listening because, like, guilt would eat at me. And I'd be like, oh, my God, Logan would be so mad at me if you didn't think of it. I'm, like, not on the show and I'm not listening. Like, he'd be so mad at me. I'd, like, just binge a whole bunch, and then I'd be like, oh, now I'm sad, so I'm not going to do it anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't got to feel guilty. You didn't do nothing wrong.
About what? What do you mean?
No, she said, like, I would feel guilty sometimes. I'm like, you don't gotta feel guilty.
No, that's just because Logan gets in your freaking head.
And usually I hope not like that. But if he does, like, fuck him.
That's what I like to hear.
You see? Don't give him that power.
I like to be influential. That's what I like.
Oh my god, you're gross.
Like spread the
he's
Logan.
Absolutely disgusting, but unfortunately he's there. I've known the man for like 8 years. Like, there's no getting out.
Well, it's because you had reason. You know, you didn't just leave. Like,
I think it's fair to say me and Logan have a pretty inept history, but it's also one of those things where you grow with a person. Like, I think
how did this become
I was a very different person.
Shut up, Logan.
I was a very different person when I was 19 than I am now. Like, I'm 27 now. I've had a birthday since our last podcast. And
happy birthday!
You already said that. It's okay. That's right. You had this.
Oh wait,
face.
When was it again? Oh yeah, I wished you happy birthday. Shit. You see how absent-minded? Like, damn, yo, I need help.
I know, that was hilarious. His little face was like, oh. And I was like, you were there. It's okay. Like,
you were there. It's okay.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to these guys. Anyway, age, you get, like, things change, you know, people change, and I've grown so much. And that's not like I've outgrown Logan. Logan's grown with me, like, you know what I mean, in his own way. But I've changed so much since I was 19. So relationships change. And I think it's a testament to mine and Logan's friendship, how much we've been through together. Like, we both lost parents. We both, like, lost all sorts of things and gained all sorts of things. I was going to say people in our lives and relationships and stuff, but I've sort of just stuck with Ben the whole time.
No, when you said we lost parents, it's like, yes, through death and estrangement. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, that is so true. Yeah. Like, we both have very fathers.
Yeah. It's true. No, I know. We both had very, you know.
But that also, that happened around the same time. I remember when my mum passed away. You know, he messaged me and he was talking to me about it. And then a couple of months later, I found out that his mum actually had gotten sick at the same time mine did, but mine passed away first. And it was like just a whole thing about him not wanting to talk about his mum because my mum was passed away. And then, you know, when his mum passed away, it brought up so much crap about my mum, but it wasn't about my mum. It was his mum's turn. Like, it was one of those things, you know, where, like, we both have just been there for each other for a really, really long time. And when you think about it and put it in perspective, there has been petty shit and stupid shit and emotional shit and immature shit, but that's how relationships grow, you know. And I think I'm proud of that. And, like, I don't know if you guys have ever had relationships like that. Well, you can obviously, but me. But I don't know if you guys have ever had relationships like that. But it's a nice feeling to always have them there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where I just know that, like, I have Logan. Does that make sense? Like, he's basically family now. So that's nice.
This is disgustingly beautiful. Like it's only disgusting because it's about like, Logan.
I've never had an emotional connection like that in my life.
It's not like that. It's not like that. It's just...
Oh my God, if it was you, that'd be so sad. Know, if you were looking at me like, ew.
It's like, after all that?
I'm like, okay.
No, I feel I have a few relationships like that, but I'm horrible at maintaining relations with people. Like, for real.
Have
like,
you met me and Claire?
I mean, well, I feel, but no, I have those connections with people, but I personally just wish, like, I communicated more, because if you're not in, like, my immediate environment, like, I just hope you're doing well. I'm usually dealing with too much shit, and so all the other relationships I have, that's what happened between me and Logan, basically. Like, you know, we would talk here and there, you know, via social media, and we always stay connected. Yeah. But, like, we're just kind of lucky we're those people. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, a lot of friendships I have with people, mind you, I lived in different parts of Florida, then I moved up to New York. So, like, I have relationships like that right now with some of the friends I have in New York because I've been here longer. But so, like, it just really touches me because, like, I appreciate those moments. You don't even get that. Like, some of the friends I know don't even understand it because of how I am. They're like, yo, Mitch is so aloof and, like, to himself. And it's like, nah, I value the relation.
That seems to be a lot more common in America than it does here. And not in the sense of, like, I'm just thinking about psychologically, like, here we do, like, a lot of our generation, and I'm talking anyone who's turned 30 recently to anyone who's turned 25 recently, a lot of that generation are aloof with their relationships. And I've noticed that, like, there's a girl at work and she's 15 and she's just super like, my friends are everything. I need to talk to them all the time. And in my head, in the back of my head, I was like, ew.
Your look just now was like, whoa.
I was like, that's disgusting. Like, who needs that? Like, but that's where she's at in her life. Like, and that's but when I was 15, I was like that, and I don't know what it is about our generation or whatever. But like when I was 15, like I loved my friends, and I wanted to talk to them all the time. I wanted to go downtown and hang out with them at the shops or whatever the fuck you did. But like, I also like, I just feel like I don't know if it's social media or what, or in the internet or what, but everyone's just so much more in each
Like,
other's
on top of each other. Yeah.
on top of each other.
Guys,
And,
as
like,
funny as this is
That
going to
just wasn't
sound,
even a thing.
just excuse me for a moment. You guys keep going. I'll be back. I have a dog in the house right now, and I have to make sure nothing's going crazy. I know, right? But I'll be right back.
When the fuck did he get a dog?
That's what I was just about to say. Because I talk to him literally every week. Like sometimes more than once a week, and never once like has he ever said anything about a dog.
We ain't in each other's business. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
I don't need to know everything going on in Mitchell's life. Crazy.
I actually don't need to know that. You're right. I try to think of a reason why I would need to know that. I don't.
No.
But there are people who are like actually upset if they do, like if you don't tell them shit like that. Like
I got upset when Charlie passed away. The dog.
That's
Charlie.
different. Yeah, that's different.
But that's because that's a really monumental moment in someone's life.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even really care about Darcy, my dog, that much. But if my dog died, you'd be like, why didn't you tell me? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't care. Like I know of your.
He was just like, I would care.
I know of your dog, and I've seen pictures of your dog, and your dog is very cute. But like, if your dog, passed, I would feel really fucking bad, like because I know how that feels,
Oh,
well, Mitchell, if you don't walk out of the room every 5 minutes, I'm kidding.
No, it's not even my dog. It's just when dogs bark, sometimes you're like, I hope nothing's going on upstairs. Like you,
kind of.
But
yeah, I want to. Yeah, we're good. I feel like it may happen again, but I won't let it happen.
I feel like I look good today, like in a really shabby way.
All right,
like it's horrible.
Yourself.
I'm saying, where did that come from?
I don't know. I was just seeing myself on camera. I was like, I look horrible, but in a good way. Like I'm like, oh, okay.
Like Shaggy.
I know where this is stemming from. You're like looking at Claire and you're feeling shitty about yourself. So you're like, nah, I need to pep myself up somehow. Is that it?
I'm not sure if that's it, but I
I'm not sure if that's it.
No, I just like the way I look today.
No, that's cool, man. I'm glad for you. I'm not
thanks.
I don't think you're an unattractive person.
Oh, thank you.
I'm also not trying to give you the compliment on your looks to feed your ego because I'm not in the mood for it right now.
I love how he always clarifies that.
Yes, yes, of
I
course.
wanted
That's
to talk.
not going to make.
That's what I wanted to talk about because like Mitch was at my house last week, right? And
where is this going?
What did you do, Mitch? Why are you so scared?
I don't know.
Mitch is so like afraid of male intimacy sometimes.
Oh, wait, what?
It bothers me a little bit.
What are you
I'm
talking
like, it's
about?
a little homophobic,
No, I'm
man.
afraid of intimacy with you strange one.
I don't know.
And I have no idea where this is coming from, bro. We was at your house chilling.
It's a little homophobic. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'm not even
You
gonna
might
do this. I can't believe this is what you said, bro. I'm gonna slander me today.
And he was like, nah.
I just wanted to, put a carrot up his butt, and he said, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, come on, man, don't be homophobic
right now. Bro, out of the two, never mind. I'm not even gonna get on this with you. You fucking ass. I was just concerned. I was like, wait, the fuck did you do while I was at the house the other night, bro? Like, what am I not remembering, you son of a bitch? Oh my god.
I was just jacking off in the cupboard, and he came in and was like, "Whoa, man, this is weird." You missed me, Mitchell. Looks like you missed me.
Yo, hey Claire, you saw the review, right? I don't remember if it was for one of the episodes we were on together, but
I don't think so. I think it was just on the podcast.
I'm hoping he's been hearing. Yeah, I'm hoping it's about the podcast in general. The reason I bring it up because it's like, you see, we've been doing this for like how long now? And remember how when we started, and I was like telling you, I was telling both of you guys, like, no, we don't need to. We need to sound natural. We just need to have conversations, be ourselves, and like, look,
you're right.
Look at what happened there.
It's all you, Mitch.
I know. I didn't need you to say that part. I didn't need you to say that part, but like, look at what's happening in the world.
What the fuck is going on here?
I love how under the
egos.
What ego? I'm not even like. I hate the fact that you're ruining this.
I was just gonna say, like, under the surface, I think we all know that like Logan plays an integral part to this podcast, but
Ew, why are we
He's
giving
such
credit
a
to
like.
Logan?
He's like, this is my show. Like he's so like macho
I'm
about it, and he's
not.
also
So
our
insecure
friend
about
that we
her.
just have to like razz him. Like Logan does play a very like there wouldn't be no show without Logan, like at all, really.
Okay,
but
fine.
because he's so like, this is my show, and he needs to put his little foot down, and he needs to have his like little like, I'm your like boss moment, and like respect my
Logan
authority.
screamed out,
And all
"Let me
that
be
stuff.
a man.
Yeah,
Just let me be
he
a
just
man."
because we're his friends and not his actual like employed workers.
Speaking of my feet, I've thought about, you know,
What
like
about
making,
your feet? That's so gross.
because you said I got to put my foot down, and I thought about my feet for a second, and I was
Why
like,
do we have to talk about your feet?
I should make an OnlyFans with my feet. Like I
Why?
should
Oh,
definitely
what is
do that
happening?
because I have very slender feet. That's what it is.
Oh, do you
See,
really?
I'm doing that thing where like Trump like makes a whole distraction and you didn't hear anything that anybody said right 5 minutes ago. So it's like I'm just talking about my feet now.
You
Like,
coward.
that's
You're a
what we
fucking
do.
coward.
You're a gross coward. At that.
That was effective.
Oh God.
Because you saw like everybody on the show's like his feet, like
Ew.
Like the fuck. Well, we actually haven't talked about fetishes before,
Like-
have we? We'll save that for later.
well, like half the people listening to the show were like,
His face was like, I don't really. I'm not okay.
half the people listening to the show were like, "Ew," and the other half were like, "What's the link?" Like,
Yo, I'm not, like, I mean, well, if you talk about it, you might as well be
wish.
about it.
You wish there's people out there wanting a link to your feet.
Sadly, he's technically not wrong. That's the problem.
There's a lot of dudes out there into feet. Like they just pay for like feet pics, like big money. Like I'm like, oh, there's all this
Okay.
feet money out there, and I got pretty feet.
Yeah, you're
like,
right. I need to cash in on that, man.
I
mean,
mean, I'm like every day I think about shaving my feet and then like taking pictures of them.
Oh my
shit, nigga,
fucking
I'm
god.
broke. There ain't no reason for me to not make
Shaving
money
my
off these feet.
Like just getting the hair off the knuckles.
I got so
like, you know?
much. I've never.
Yo, we've been having too much fun. We gotta talk about something. I just
we
realized we
talked
spent so
about-
much time
you
having
We just
fun.
talked about feet for like 10 minutes. That's fun.
With
Yes, I had
All
to get
right,
out
okay.
of that. I had a hairy situation like 10 minutes ago. I got to get
You
out of
still
there.
do, apparently.
okay. So anyway, so listeners at home, thank you for joining us. So Logan wanted to talk about preferences in dating, which I think would be a good place to start a conversation.
He just wants to
Logan,
talk
why don't you
about
get into that real
fetishes.
quick? Why don't you get into that?
Oh,
Break us
about
off a little
preferences
something.
in dating.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean that was the subject, wasn't it?
Yes, because part of the reason why was because something horrible happened in the podcast sphere, which I don't really want to talk about. I didn't send you guys the clip. I didn't want to really dignify it anymore, but something happened horribly wrong in the podcast sphere where like this podcast, they basically said like really horrible shit about Black women. And so like if you know what I'm talking about, you do, and if you don't, like, you know, you don't need to really look it up.
Don't go
But-
into it because then you're just giving them.
Yeah,
more
exactly.
fucking
You're just going to
views and
give them
shit.
more attention than they really need because they don't really need that much attention. But like what happened was what I wanted to talk about was more of the reaction to it was that what happened was people started going on these weird tangents about like preferences and like it's okay not to prefer A, B, and C about a person. And then it'd be like the preferences they would claim, it'd be like, it's okay to not like Asian women, but like just don't say it out loud would be like the hot take. And I would just listen to some of this shit and I would be like, how is this different? Like, how is this different than what you guys just are commenting on?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk about preferences, and I think preferences are bullshit. I wanted to have a discussion about it with you guys, of course. I thought it was going to be just Mitch, but now Claire's here. I'm like, this is great. This is grand. This is wonderful.
I think they're not bullshit though, and that's the problem. But I'll
This
get
is
into
why
that
it's
later.
great. It's grand. It's
Mhm.
wonderful.
No,
because
yeah,
I need
yeah.
to have this conversation.
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
I think preferences are bullshit. I am willing to listen to Mitch describe whether or not, because I think there's so much more argument about why they are. But I want to hear from another.
So hear me out,
yeah.
Logan. Understand. I still think preference is a problem. The reason I say it's not bullshit is because of how much a problem it is. It's very real. People legitimately will look at someone, and so for me, on some level, I feel like there's just, I can't let it go. I've always tried to, because like that's the person I am. I'm a very conscious person. But to me, there's always this level of like an inherent like prejudice, racist bias present, like kind of, you know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to pretend that's factual, because the fact is all over the globe, man or woman, people like what they like. The question that we have to answer is, why do they like what they like?
Okay.
Because that's when we're really getting into preferences in terms of like dating and stuff like that. Why is a person attracted to that person? Now, if we're talking physical, well, there's many reasons while some dumbass bullshit podcast would talk smack on black women. You know what I mean? It's called America, and it's called the transatlantic slave trade in terms of how our image has been tarnished. And that's one level to it. Images get tarnished. You know what I mean? On another level, it is kind of complicated. Like, I don't know. Oh, you like the slant of an Asian woman's eyes? Or is it that, you know, you like the stereotypical petite framing that we like to force upon Asian women? You know what I mean? Like, it's so much fucking disgusting shit, which is why, like I said, it's like there's a bias to it and like prejudice and stuff, but it's very, very real. I mean, let's look at something simple.
In what sense do you mean it's real? Maybe
it's
that's
real
what's
in the sense
in
that like people will literally have their preferences and try to justify them and go into that awkward, like, yeah, you know, I just like that person this way. You know, that's just my preference, bro. Like, I'm not going to pretend, like I told you, I think it's a problem, but I deal with that problem all the fucking time. Let's look at one simple. Let's talk about those women who are like, can get really superficial. Like, yeah, I don't date dudes under like 6 foot. You know, sorry, that's just my preference. And exactly, we're getting to a different place now, but it's like someone's height. How do they look? Is there another reason? But like, technically, that's kind of like a little messed up. Like, what's wrong with the dude who's a little shorter than you? To me, this now I have to get personal. So to me, yeah.
By the way, Mitch, you're like 6 foot, right? You're like 6'1", 6 foot.
5'11", but thanks, man. My ego needed that. I'm 5'11". My ego like that. You know, Logan look at me as bigger than I am, as he should. But anyway,
that does make sense now that I think about it.
Why? What makes sense? That I'm 5'11"?
Like, you're not that much taller than me.
No,
so why did I think you were 6 foot?
Where you're going. Yeah, and I've told you this before. I literally told you my height before.
Anyways, why are you upset about women saying that they won't date somebody
not for the reason you
foot?
think. It's not like an insecurity thing with me. I just think it's a power dynamic thing, because height and being above someone is always looked at as like having power. Oh, this person's big. You know, knights and kings and stuff, they rode horses so they can look down on the people. And a woman saying like, yeah, I want my man to be like taller than me and have that power. You know, there is the like, you know, sexual relationship, I guess. You know, you might like that. That's fair. But there's also, to me, that side of just like, wow, you're just wanting a man to kind of have the stronger position in the relationship. To me is a vibe I get sometimes.
Okay, wait, slow down, because you're going
too fast.
Yes,
okay,
you're going fast.
Why you asked me the question? Why is that a problem? It's not a problem. I just don't personally like it. It's not no like.
That's not okay. I'm gonna bring Claire in.
Okay, yeah. Like, I don't like
you
that.
just don't like some shit.
I didn't state that. I didn't state that one was like, that's a preference conversation. But like, in terms of the preference conversation, that's a piece that I don't personally like.
Okay. Wait, give me a second. Let me bring Claire in. Claire, can you say your piece, please? Okay, so in my opinion, preferences, I don't believe in preferences either. But I do know sexually, biologically, we are attracted to what we're attracted to. And I just think it's a crock of shit, and that people can not be attracted to various races. You know what I mean? Because I think we're all just attracted to certain things. You know, if you're attracted to eyes, you're attracted to eyes. If you're attracted to this, you're attracted to that. So I think racial discrimination and what's the word when you get exposure to various different races plays a very big part in being like, I'm not attracted to this race, or I'm attracted to this race specifically. And then it sort of, there's also the whole bit on fetishism and all that fun stuff. So I just think, like, I personally like tall guys. I like big cock. I like muscles. I like being like thrown around.
These are back.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I like all that sort of stuff. That can be anybody. You know, that's anybody. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things.
You're right. Exactly.
I do like
I see where you're going.
Like, I like facial hair and stuff.
Word.
But I have dated guys that haven't had beards. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's a preference. It's not a necessity. Yeah. And it's not something that I'm going to say someone's not attractive for not having or having. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you love a beard? But at the end of the day, and like, you look at my partner, you know exactly who I'm into.
Right, exactly.
He's basically Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Shit.
Shout out to Ben, yo.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Shaggy, too, yeah.
But, like, that doesn't mean I don't find other people attractive, and that doesn't mean that I have, like, that's where I think preferences are shit, because you are biologically attracted to certain things and whatnot. But if you're attracted to vagina, you're attracted to vagina. Like, that's not
a preference, you know what I mean? Though. That's a sexuality.
Yeah, that's not a preference.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
We're getting a little, it's a little different. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not trying to jump on you for that.
I think people confuse preference.
I'm sorry, Claire. I was just saying that I wasn't trying to jump on you for that. Where I was trying to, when you said when you're attracted to that, you're attracted to that. I'm trying to talk to the audience that were like, you know what I mean?
I haven't been on the show for a while, so.
Just like riding a bike, you know what I'm saying?
But like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I think it gets really weird, because like I've heard guys be like, oh, that Asian pussy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I hate how black girl pussy looks like this. And I'm like, it's pussy, man. Like, how dare you? Like, why are you bringing it up? Why are you talking about it like this? Why are you being so, like, you either like it or you don't.
Right. Whoa.
And you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, that's what
I do. Claire, like, I 100% like feel you.
You don't
and
have
that's
a
why
preference.
I wanted to talk about
You're
it.
just being racist or being creeped out by this, or freaked out by something that you don't know about, which is racism a little, you know? Like, it's kind of the basis for, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. So
racism begins in ignorance. It's fair to say. You know what I mean? Shit, a lot of things.
I don't know if it begins in ignorance as much as people want it to, though, because like,
I guess
ignorance
there's
means like there's a level of disconnection to it, and I think people have put ignorance on top of racism and like different forms of bigotry a little too heavy. Like, they've used that sauce a little too liberally, because not necessarily, like, racism doesn't always necessarily have to do with stereotypes. It doesn't always have to do with, like, stereotypes usually are the excuse, but they're not nearly enough the cause. You know what I mean? They're not usually the cause of hatred. Like, if I believe that, like, Mexicans are lazy or whatever, like, I believed like several other things about Mexicans before I got to Mexicans are lazy. You know what I mean? Like, even when you talk to a racist and they say things like that and you try to show them, well, look at all of the, you know, Mexicans and how hard they work, and this, you can show them all these different examples, and then as soon as you show them that, it's not like it changes their mind and they're not racist anymore. So there's something a little thicker going on in the sauce than just ignorance.
Obviously.
You know what I mean?
That's obviously fair. Yeah. No, that's true.
Just an example, like, I know guys who are like, oh, I like redheads and Latina women. I'm like, okay, so you like women, the stereotypical women who are bitey, who are feisty, who will fight back, who will like be sassy and you know what I mean? Like, when you look at it, it's like,
I also like redheads and Latino women, but not for those reasons.
You know who I was talking about, but I was trying not to call you out.
I mean, why are you talking about me for that? Point them out.
You're the one who called yourself out.
Yeah, no, I said that I like those women, but not for those reasons. That doesn't,
but you shouldn't have had to say not for those reasons.
Well, I think that
I had a point after
there's a lot of association going on.
Yeah, I had a point. Oh,
but you jumped in on my point. Like, you stole my point.
No, I had a point to add on to yours when you were done.
Jumped
so
in.
Yes, exactly.
I was like, excuse me, Mr. Nose in the door.
I'm very
my point was,
hello?
I think there's a lot of association that goes on. You know what I mean? Like, because that is natural and human for us to be like, oh, I like this quality. And like, it can be negative too. Like, a lot of old guys who like Asian women, they don't like them for whatever reason other than the fact that Asian women are stereotypically in porn and movies and whatever other like way you can see them subservient, you know?
Yeah,
like, that's like an Asian stereotype for women to be subservient and stuff. And it's gross because you don't like Asian women as a person or a culture or anything minority, like anything positive whatsoever. It's all a negative stereotype.
Yes, exactly.
So there's a lot of association with various different types of people, and that goes with other things, like with men as well, and like the whole big cock debate and all that sort of stuff with black guys and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, maybe you need to think. You just need to think a little deeper. Like, just think about it. You know what I mean? Because I think about this sort of stuff all the time. I don't know how other people don't. Just like,
I love the energy in the room now, because it's like, when it was just me and Mitch, right? There was a weird, like,
Mitch MVP 4 years running.
Sure. There was a weird, like, I love when John Oliver does it. He's like, cool. Like, it's just like, you know? But like, Claire adds like a sauce. Like, she adds like a spice to the show that you can't find anywhere else. And her hot takes are very rooted in her Claireism. You know what I mean? And Mitch has his own little Mitchism that he brings to the show too. And it's like, Mitch has this like serene somberness to it. And Claire brings like a sledgehammer to the party every time she talks.
I didn't know what I mean?
I'm Holly fucking Quinn, yo.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so like, I feel like I've just like been out of it, and I've missed like the energy so much that like, no matter what your guys' takes are, no matter how off the wall or on point or wherever they lead us, you know, I'm just like, I like feel the energy, and it's just like this like overwhelming force that I can only imagine.
I really
like, you
hope
feel
that transfers into the show. Like, I really hope that's just not an us thing. Like, you just get this vivid image of us being like, we're the best, and then we listen back to the show and it's just out of chaos. You know what I mean? Like, which I think has happened.
It happens, but you know, at the same time, I've it's never made me feel like we're doing the wrong thing. Like, that's never been what was wrong about the show, is the energy. And that's what I've always loved.
But otherwise, that's Logan's, that's how he feels about it. It's okay if he feels that way. Like, even if it's just him experiencing that, like, good job.
If I feel like this, I feel like if it like just one, I will get back on topic, but I feel like if just one person feels like that, there are thousands more that feel like that. And you just got to find those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they keep listening and whatnot. It just kind of, yeah.
What I was going to say about the preferences thing, though, is because, like, you guys make very good points about the preferences. And I especially like Claire's points because it's rooted in a lot of, like, you know, when you look back at where these preferences come from, like when we're talking about culture, when we're talking about, like, you know, this idea that like maybe Asian women would be more submissive, or maybe Latino women would be more feisty, you know, like they come from mostly racist ideas. And then like when you have people in the media talking about it, they're just regurgitating those same things without without saying
the whole bit of,
that, you know, this is where this comes from. Yeah.
That whole thing I was saying about how I think we do have sexual, you know, preferences in the sense of stuff that turns us on, you know, whether it be vaginas or boobs or eyes or whatever else. And then we have, you know, what we're exposed to when we're young, and we have what's different to us, and what, you know, like with anything, it's about what we're exposed to and what we're taught is right and what is wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if we're growing up being exposed to this stuff that's saying that, you know, white women are beautiful and black women are ugly. So that is definitely going to be represented sexually, because being sexual is a part of what we are as human nature.
Right.
So, you know, you got to think about that sort of stuff. It's like it ingrains in every part of who we are as people, you know, what we're exposed to and what we're told is right and what is wrong, you know what I mean? And it's not true, you know, and I've been loving all this new, like, Disney fucking Pixar shit coming out with, like, Encanto and Moana and all that sort of stuff. And I've been loving it because, like, yes, there are so many, like, different, like, things coming out where these people are beautiful. You know what I mean? And it's showing these little girls that these people are beautiful on, like, a psychological level. I'm thinking about how detrimental it is. You know what I mean? For everybody to be, you know.
Yeah, included, yeah.
Included and together. So...
And to just like see yourself there in a positive way as well, you know, like
you're included, you're invited to. This is gonna sound bad, but I was gonna say you're invited to the orgy.
Sure.
Like I know, Logan, but I
to
couldn't
be
help
not
myself.
a second class person.
Yeah, it's like, hey, yeah, welcome to the orgy. But like. It's just because race isn't a preference. That's my thing. That's always been my thing. It's like, so you said, and especially Claire, you made a good example. As funny as it sounded, you were like, hey, I like muscles, I like big cock, and it's like, yo,
I'm trying
to do your accent. It's just like the funniest shit.
I did go British. I'm sorry. You know, Australia's not there yet. I'll work out Australian later. But you know, in a similar vein, it's like, you know, I like fit women, I like curvy women. You know what I mean? But the last thing I'm looking at is, you know, her skin color. I might look, you know, how your features look due to your skin, and I'll decide whether I like or dislike you based on that. I'm not going to go,
things to do with like hygiene and stuff too.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I'm not going to
like,
go,
there are preferences where like if she got yellow teeth, you just sort of like a little bit more put off.
Like,
that's like a whole like
that's different. That's a health reason. That's understandable.
A health thing. She
That's
can't take care of herself.
I think what I wanted to say most about preferences are like preferences should be something that's malleable. Like it should be something that you can change. You know what I mean? And if it's not, you need to at least explore where that's coming from. Like to say a blanket statement and be like, I don't like Mexican women, or I don't like black women, or anything like that. And then like never think about that ever again. Like
just never being attracted to any of them.
Yeah,
like,
that's sick. Oh shit, that's real sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you just never thought about like why you don't like millions of people.
Literally.
Like, you know,
bro.
Like, I mean,
well, people don't take it that far, and we're not taught to, because we're us as America, especially, we get very superficial. It's like we don't think about it. It's like the last thing I'm thinking about. For instance, if I like the woman shaped like how I described, it's like the last thing I'm looking at. If I'm like, oh damn, the ass. Last thing I'm gonna say is like, oh my god, she's a too few shades too dark. Yikes. You know what I mean? If I said I like that, if I said I like curves on women,
that by accident. When you said that, I was like, that got my hackles up by accident.
Oh yeah, I mean it should, because like if you hear shit like that, the fuck, because that's fucked up, man. It's like, how are you gonna say you like a certain thing and then a different shade or skin tone is put on it, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't like it so much. No, I don't think if that's a preference, bro. It sounds like you got some shit you need to work out. You know what I mean? And the reason I started off saying it's very real is because like we can laugh and joke, but like there are superficial people in our world, dude, walking around. No one call out they bullshit, of course, make blanket statements like you described, Logan, all the time. And it's just like, how the fuck did we get here?
I think even when people say like they have a preference for one particular race only, even if it isn't their own, I feel like there's something going on there that people need to like explore. Like, you know what I mean?
Self-respect on.
Yeah, like it's still like even if you said that like you only date Asian women, like as a, you know, like Asian as a black person or Asian men or whoever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you would need to explore that. Like, I think you need to understand what brought you to that conclusion and why you felt like that's the only people on earth that you feel like you can date, and whether or not that's rooted in like your ideas and your thoughts about those people and things like that. You know what I mean? And that's why I kind of got like to Claire. I was like, well, I like those people because like I don't really discriminate when it comes to dating. Like, I will date an Asian person. She knows that about me too. That's why I got mad. Like, I will date just about anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and if I like a specific like feature about somebody, I like those features. Like I find those features enjoyable, but I don't make those features out to be like the end all be all of like my
that's
thing.
like
You know what
basically
I
what I was
mean?
going to say.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to gravitate to, like, there are men out there who do date a lot of Asian women or whatever because they gravitate to those sorts of features. Like, that's just what they are attracted to and they can't help that. But as long as that's not like an exclusivity thing, you know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like, you
exactly,
can gravitate to something more often because you really like certain features that those people might have. But it's being aware of that and being like, oh, yeah, well, like, you know what I mean? Because if you are just doing it genuinely because you gravitate to those features, there are other people out there who might have similar features. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a whole thing.
Yeah, sure.
It's just tough to even have the conversation sometimes because it's like, at the end of the day, no matter what, you can never decide for someone who they choose to date, you know, love, have children with, marry, or be with. Like, you can't force anyone. It's just, I wish people, the only reason I bring it up was because.
Is that what makes it tough though?
Because at the end of the day, Logan, it doesn't matter if I tell a person who's like, yo, shit, you know, the white boy, like, listen, I'm only dating black women, man. I only like chocolate. I don't do it. Yo. I don't want to date no white girls. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm white, but, you know, I love them black women. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, I understand.
Yo.
But, like, that's a little weird.
It's the first time I've ever heard that before, and I enjoyed
I know,
it.
right? Yeah, I would have a weird example.
I can't believe I'm gonna believe
I know,
that.
right? You didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming. But my point is to bring that up. It's just like,
I hate that one. That's the one I actually hate.
I know.
Yeah.
that's the one
Why?
you dislike the most. Say it because he has some shit.
Because they're sort of including them a little bit.
No, it's not even that. It's just I hate because it's like, he's a white nigger. And it's like, really, is he? And it feels like a sneaky way for white people to say for white people. Yeah, see, when I deconstruct it, it's not so fun anymore.
I can see what you're
Like,
saying.
so funny to me.
It's a little bit funny, but it's not fun.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not fun.
Yeah.
But no, because no matter what, I tell that dude, like, hey, listen, you wrong for that, man. You diversify. You know, it's kind of wrong to like single out a single people. The fuck is he gonna care? I'm not holding his hand as he's going out everywhere, being like, hey, don't talk. You have to talk to this person or whatever. People don't really care enough, which makes it even more frustrating because it's like we'd live in a better world if you weren't sitting here pretending your preference wasn't like, I mean, if you weren't pretending that your preference wasn't based in like racist like themes and stuff like that, it'd be a better place. But you can't force someone. You can't pick who someone dates. This isn't an arranged marriage. Is my point.
No, I think that person's an idiot. You know,
which you're probably right about. I agree with you with. I'm just saying, like, there's not much we can do. We can't force that person to do what we want.
I think what we can do is we can educate. And the fact is that there's a lot of bad information out there. And if everybody like who has the information just throws our hands up and we're like, well, what can we do? All these people are stupid. It's like, they're stupid because you didn't tell them anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, either we're going to educate people or we're not. Either we're going to give them information that's like, hey, we need to put this information out there, because when you do that, when you make information readily available, you know, then you don't have idiots like me who can't speak. Like when you have information out there and people can gravitate to it, like you don't have to be the person that tells that person that that's a racist thing anymore. Like other people will do it for you because they're educated about it.
I have a counter argument.
That's how you have a good society. You know what I mean?
I have a counter argument though.
Okay.
And it's actually based in something you brought up earlier with the point of like, you can't just put like the whole of racism on being ignorant, which is true. And what you explained just now, my father always used to tell me there's a difference between someone being dumb and someone being stupid. Someone being dumb is as you described. They didn't know any better, so they make the mistake. Someone being stupid, they knew better, continue to choose to still make the mistake. And now what education can counteract, as you perfectly put, sure, we can educate people. Some people don't know better. Some people choose to live this way. You have plenty of people who hear about, listen, critical race theory has been in the media now for like ever on some level. And people have been hearing this type of discussion for a while. Hey, that ain't right, man. You know, you shouldn't just say things like that and then laugh it off and not give a fuck because like sometimes people have fucked up. It isn't just about them not knowing better or having the education. Some people's hearts is just off. You know what I mean? Like they really got to sit there and get it. And it's like education may be a start, but you know, even in schools, you'll have some students do well. And then I guess it's like, you got to do a little bit of intensive training real quick because some people don't get it as quick. They need a little bit more attention. Can you give them that attention? Because some people choose to live in ignorance.
My thing is, my counter argument to your counter argument would be the fact that what I'm talking about when I say education is what I'm talking about is culture. So when I describe that the person, like you won't have to be the person to go hunt down every racist and talk to them and be like, hey, stop doing racist shit. Is that like there will be other people who are well educated about that. When you have like if you ever been in a classroom, right, and a lesson is being taught and everybody's like, okay, 1 + 2 = 3. And then that one kid that doesn't get it, like that kid gets shunned, right? Because he's stupid or whatever. That's what everybody says, you know? I'm not saying that he's stupid for real, but like that's what happens,
you are.
Right? That's the culture in that classroom that allows this person to be shunned that way. Where same thing happens where like somebody is like objectively racist and they like, if you have like somebody who doesn't seem like they have like a mental illness and they're like screaming the N-word loud as shit, you know, to like black people like on the train or something, like people want to fight that person. You know what I mean? Because they have some type of understanding about what's going on, even if it's not a total understanding. You know what I mean? And that's a cultural thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even on that note too, though, I can clarify that you can be an asshole and mentally ill. You know what I mean? Like mental illness does play a part in your decline of emotion, feeling shitty, lack of care, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But
I mean, somebody
you
who's
can be
not,
like,
yeah.
But
I
just don't think people should not be held accountable. I think they should just have the reasonable punishment for like the situation at hand. So yeah, they're mentally ill and they're doing such and such, committing hate crimes, blah blah blah. Committing like these hate crimes, so they should still have punishment for that. But because they weren't in their right mind, they should have like a reasonable amount of punishment for that. You know what I mean? Like it should that should just be.
I think we should deal. Yeah, I think we should deal with them, but I don't know because I don't know. Like I was at the train station and there was somebody who was just like, he was just yelling, like he was like yelling nerd like all like over and over, and he was like obviously like very mental. I was at the fucking Delancey and Essex, I think.
That's
like
crazy. Oh
yeah, like crazy, I was deep in the subway and this dude like he was shouting like, you know, and he's like, but he was obviously mentally ill and like nobody was helping him. No one's
gonna approach that.
And so nobody was saying anything, and like everybody who was black was like, "Yo, that dude's just fucking crazy," because otherwise somebody would have knocked him out by now. You know what I mean? So like there was something obviously wrong. It wasn't like we were talking to somebody who, you know, had depression.
Anyone?
You know what I mean?
Mind,
yeah, exactly. So that's what I meant. I wanted to like say that, you know, unless it's something that where some people are like obviously off, because I had that experience. That's why I brought it up.
And honestly, it sounds like he got that stuck in his head. Like he sounds like he's only just like, I don't know for sure, but it's like he almost just only learned that word. Yeah. And now it's become like a thing in his brain, like with how it's going. Yeah.
Yeah, he could have been like schizophrenic. He could have been anything, you know? I don't know. But like I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to school for that. That's Claire. But like, but that's what I mean.
Either. Can I clarify? Maybe stop calling me a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
No, you're not a doctor.
All right, we're not going to. You need
to go be a doctor so you can write prescriptions. That's what you need to do.
Or books.
Perhaps. I would like some oxys. Thank you. Anyways, what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is that culture is more powerful than like your local idiot. So yes, there are always going to be people who do shit on purpose and are dumb on purpose. But like, as long as you have the prevailing culture be like, listen, that's really fucked up. That's how you move forward. You know what I mean? And so I don't really worry about the day-to-day asshole that like is doing racist shit, as long as like the people around me are down to like either remove him from the situation or call him an ass, or, you know, or like, you know, don't worry about, you know what I mean? Something like that. When I worry is when that's not happening. When what he's doing, everybody feels like it's normal and we should just move on. That's when I worry. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's fair. It's just, it's hard to,
I'm not trying to, like, when you brought up arranged marriages, I'm not trying to stop anybody from doing whatever they're going to do. I always say all the time, they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
That's what I was going to say, actually. I was like, because the hard part is, it's not like, the easy part is saying something when you hear something like real ignorant. Like, obviously someone says some left shit, you're going to be like, dude, chill. The hard part is actually building a culture that truly believes in that. Because after all, some people can live in quiet and just go about dating who they date. If they're not saying anything, you can't really, you might notice some shit. Like if you have like 3 groups of friends and they're like, yeah, like we're diverse, but they're all dating the same type of woman over and over and over again. And you notice they've been in areas where they could try something else and they haven't. That's going to be like the only time you'll have any shred of evidence to say something. And even then, you could say something, but if they deny it, there isn't much you can do, you know? All you really can do is try to affect the culture in a positive way and hope for the best. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. You could say really something. Saddening. You could say something.
You could always say something, Logan, but like, and you know, sometimes it might take root and you might make a change. Listen, one New York City propaganda and poster board. I will and I do as I can. 2, sometimes ain't always a lot of shit to see.
We got to move on soon. But I just wanted to say,
we should.
What I wanted to say is that like I get what you're saying. But like, I feel like we discount what easy is, because it's easy now to say certain things where it wasn't always easy before to say those same things.
Okay, it's cool to
bring like it takes the work to do it. And so like, if you want things to change, we have to like put the little bit of the elbow grease in to make them change that way. Like, it's not going to be easy to be like, hey, it's kind of fucked up that like we just say that Asian women are going to be submissive just because we decided that. You know, like we gotta at one point or another, we gotta have to start having that conversation, and we have to start like being like, hey, you need to explore your feelings about why you only want to date Asian women, or why you want to only date Asian men, or whatever is going on, or why you don't want to date black women, or why you don't want to date Latino women, or whatever is going on. We need to start doing that now, because if we don't, we are going to just live in that world. We are going to
end up in that culture regardless, without no one saying anything. But the thing, it is easier now, because you are right, Logan. That wasn't easy. Like, you try to have that conversation, like, I mean, even for us, you try to have that conversation like 20 years ago, right? That's early 2000s. That's early 2000s. That's not even like, you know, so right. You try to have that conversation early 2000s, 1990s, people are going to be like, you're taking it too serious, bro. We're just joking around and try to brush shit off. But it's easier now, because people are becoming more sensitive and realizing like, yo, there is some shit going on. Yeah. I do feel bad. We do need to have these conversations. It's not easy. That's true. It is not easy, audience, but it is easier than it has been. And you should make the effort.
Turbulent time at the moment, I feel like. I think this point in our history is really turbulent. Things are heating up. Literally and figuratively. And I think this is going to be the make or break of, I feel like everybody feels like this is the make or break of where we're at.
Oh no, the real it's coming. Like, it's not here yet.
No, but that's what I mean. Yeah. Everyone can feel that though, is what I'm saying.
That tension.
They're responding by going really hard either way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're going hard this way or hard that way, and they're not thinking about it logically by any means. But we have wars on the cards. We have global destruction on the cards. Like, we have, like, you know what I mean? There are like meteorites coming close and volcanoes like shaking a little. Like, we have shit going on across the board.
Yeah, Brooklyn flooding last year. Like, you know?
Not to mention we're still in the midst of a global pandemic. So, and I think to sort of escape and step back from that, everybody has decided to take something and just fucking run with it. And I think that's just really stupid and 100% disassociation. But
valid.
At the same time, I think that's why everything's so turbulent. Because everyone's feeling these turbulent emotions that change is happening and things are happening. But nobody knows how or why. So they're grabbing onto things and being like, this is why, you know, racism. You know what I mean? Like they're just grabbing onto shit and running with it because they're scared. And like, I think everyone's feeling that vibration. Like, you know me, I'm not very big on spiritual or religious things. But I do think as a race, we do have like I think even animals have like a connection to each other. You know what I mean? And like there's been studies on like how animals can feel like changes in the earth by their fur and stuff like that. So I think as like, you know, biological animals, we are feeling the change in the atmosphere. That change is coming. Yeah. And instead of, because we have our imaginations and we can overthink everything and go intense into everything, we're freaking out. But we're trying to make logic out of what we're freaking out about, and we're just projecting it into the wrong things, in my opinion. Because there are some things, like there are some good things happening 100%, but there are a lot of things that I'm just like, what the fuck? Why are we focusing on this now? Like, why is this something that we're focusing on now when there's so much other stuff we could try and help and deal with? And people are starting to recycle and shit, and I'm like, mate, no, too late. Like, fuck off. We needed you last year, Larry. Like, no. Like 10 years ago, Larry, not today. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? So it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why I started talking about that. I cannot remember. For the life of me. My brain I just did a classic Claire, like, out of body experience of just, this is what I need to say.
No, yeah, well, because you were talking about disassociating,
and it would not let go.
No, it all made sense. You were talking about disassociating, and then she gave us like, you know, reasonable reasons why.
Because it was too much.
Yeah, you literally did what the problem is. Yo,
I was like, I just disassociated. I was like, what am I talking about?
Like this is too much of me.
It's too much.
But no, those are valid reasons.
Oh man.
You did your job, Claire. I know you're a little lost, but you did the job. I was here. People gonna get it.
They better, because I'm tired. I need them to catch the fuck up.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Claire. Tell me about it.
Not you, Larry. No point in recycling now.
Claire.
Sorry. I'm a dickhead. It's also really funny because I only just realized. I know, Larry.
We don't have to talk about that. Thank you.
I didn't mean that.
Claire, you wanted to talk about veganism.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's the conversation you want to have?
Yes, you did.
Look, here's the thing. I need to go in like 20 minutes, so I don't think this should be a discussion today. I think we should talk about something else.
You want to talk? We can bring it up next week.
What? Okay. All right.
Sorry, just Logan's shit.
She really got out of that one.
Wiggle.
I don't know. I feel like we can end with that.
You really?
Yes.
You feel okay with that?
Yes.
He just wants me to do it because he wants to know he wants his girlfriend's reaction on what I have to say.
Well, yeah, so I have to wait till next week to get it. It is going to be what it's going to be.
All right. Well, coming up. Next time on the Milk and Toast podcast, Claire
we've never done that
about
before.
Veganism and the evils that surround it.
Could you add a Z on the end to Milk and Toast
next time, kids and toasties.
I just think I don't want to. I'm going to talk about it.
Because you want to get into it. I want to too, so I'd rather save it because I'm down to get into it.
Because there is a lot I need to say. And I just like to disclaimer now, since just to counteract Logan's bullshit, I'm not being negative. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm a very naturally negative person. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm genuinely coming from a place of concern. And I've had this debate with a lot of people who do believe in veganism, and they've never swayed me. Like, nothing they've ever said. They've just been too tired. Like, they're just too tired. They don't have a lot of
yeah, okay. I don't know what it is. It's pretty
I love that so much.
But here's the thing. I do agree that the meat industry is failing.
Yeah,
I do agree that we are in hard times. We're in a global food crisis.
Right.
But I think there are other alternatives that are healthier and more sustainable than just growing vegetables and grain. Like I have a whole thing behind it. So if you want to know my opinions, I'll talk about it next week.
No, I'm
I'm not getting into it further because it's just too much, because there's a lot of ethical and financial debate about it all, as well as the whole global food crisis thing.
I think it could use some time.
I do want to get into it properly.
Yeah, I get you.
And I'm not beating down on anybody, no matter how Logan edits to make it sound. I just really
I don't. I do
not
not
beating
chop
down on
people's
anybody.
Opinions up and copy and paste them. I don't
just
do
a
that.
full 10
That's
minutes of Claire having negative shit to say.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. And
she's like,
and it's
veganism is the devil.
It's not even Claire.
Vegans should die.
Just mad, the tone and the voice is all over the fucking place.
Claire, to be honest, I want to hear what you have to say.
Well,
I do want to
talk about my experiences with vegetarianism on and off throughout my entire life.
That's fucking interesting. I think we should save that for the next show.
Yeah, save it all.
That's why I want to save it, because it's one of those things that's just it's going to take an hour or two. It's going to take some time.
You know what? This is a short one. Let's go ahead and wrap up.
You want to wrap up now?
Yes, we're gonna wrap up because you got 10 minutes, and it's gonna take 10 minutes to wrap anyways.
And we could continue, but we had this and it was nice. We're not gonna do a little switch up how we used to do. How it's been someone leaves. All right, pick up the slack, y'all. We can, but we're better than that now. We'll just
Are we?
Maybe Logan won't have to edit too much of this one out. So
maybe I what?
Maybe you won't have to edit too much of this one out, so maybe it'll be all right length.
Well, there was
I just gotta edit out Mr. Wiggerman over there, so this is all I gotta do.
Hi, I'm the lewd who likes saying the word wigger. Me and my wiggers.
I hate. I really do hate that word. It's just so it peeves me. Being from the South, that's just one of my fucking.
No, that's fair enough. No, I understand. I understand I just laugh because I don't know.
To me, it's just a term.
It hurts because it hurts. You sadistic little.
It is just the term, Fraulein. Yes. It's just funny term.
Are you German now? Why are you German?
Yeah, but I was, but I fucked up because I forgot to say Uyghur when it should be Viga, because they don't do the W's or V's.
Yeah, the emphasis.
So
on
it's supposed
the
to be
word.
Vigas.
Yeah.
It's me and my Vigas. And now I'm just annoying Logan.
Now it's getting a little close. It's going full circle, I feel.
Mitch, do you have anything you want to say to the people before we go?
It's good to have Claire back, y'all. And fuck your preferences. Just race ain't a preference. That's really all I have to say about that. Race ain't a fucking preference. Sorry, that's how I feel about it. Don't fight me about it. Race ain't a fucking preference.
How
like what you like. Race ain't got shit to do
facts be facts. Blacks be flax.
Blacks be flax.
Mitch out. I'm out, motherfucker.
That's great. Claire, did you have anything you wanted to say to the people?
Yes, I missed you. I'm really hoping to be back in the future. We're working it out. Hopefully you guys missed me and you weren't all like, oh, for fuck's sake, they got this chick back. I just preferred it when it was Sarah or it was just Mitch. You know what I mean? That'd be really sad.
They probably want more people.
Just be really sad.
I should do
I get it. Opinions are opinions.
I should do a one-on-one show with just me and you. I should do that.
Man, when do we have the time?
Have you guys still not done that?
We've had shows where you leave early, but it's not the same. You know what I mean?
It isn't. Yeah, we noticed that the first time me and you did a full-on we just started the show like this. It was like, yo, this is different.
Yeah,
this is fucking different.
I was like, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. You're coming with me.
A little touch and go there for a second. Over the holidays, that was rough for everybody, I think, involved. Maybe not Mitchell.
A lot happened.
But for those of us who have gone through some hardship this year and made big changes, I think it was a bit hard.
You are such a dick,
over Christmas.
Mitch. Not
No,
you,
so
Claire,
she
I'm
said
sorry.
maybe not. No, she's
Yeah,
she's right.
She was like talking about people's hardships through the holidays, and he's like, "Nah, I had a great fucking holiday."
No, Claire literally was like, I know the holidays are tough for people. Maybe Mitchell not so much. And the reason I was like, not too bad, because I get to go home for Thanksgiving. So
she
my
didn't
holiday.
say you. She didn't. She never said your name.
I said I did. I did say maybe
You did?
not so much Mitchell. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
I actually
No, you're
listened to Claire,
embarrassed, aren't
asshole.
no, because it felt so weird in the moment because like you were talking about like how bad like the holidays were, and then Mitch was like,
Nah,
they were
just-
fucking great. Like,
Well, I wasn't
was like,
expecting him to say anything. I'll give you that. Like,
Okay, that's good.
I did, in Mitchell's defense, I did say something just because I know that Mitchell did have a good holiday, so I follow him on
Thank you.
Instagram. But yeah, I was just sort of saying it in passing, like doing my jokey little weird thing I do. And then he started talking, and I was like, all right.
Don't say it like that.
I'm kidding. It's okay. But my point is, like, I know that holidays can be hard for some of us who've faced hardships, like of loved ones, like of housing, that whole thing. Sorry, I really do need to start making jokes out of like intense situations. It's because
No, it's all right.
Cope with it. It makes me so sad. It really does, whether you believe me or not. Anywho.
No, how you cope is how you cope.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a bit touch and go over the holidays, but
I cope the same way, Claire.
I know. But
How many times have I been like, I'm not gonna say it. Anyways.
Yeah, anyways. I hope you all have been going okay. I hope you've been taking your medicine and drinking your water, since I haven't been reminding you. Like, excuse me. That's what you are. You're supposed to be looking after yourselves. I've been looking after myself. No, I'm kidding.
Go ahead, Claire. Go
I did a
ahead.
very dramatic hair flip, but my hair's in a bun, so it didn't really transfer. I love you guys, and I hope you are doing well. Missed you. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Aw.
That's what I wanted to say. That was really long, sorry.
No, I love it.
Didn't help that I had the peanut gallery going, but
Bum, 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 bum. Fun fact, Claire.
Peanut gallery.
Because every show, Claire asks us to drink water, and we haven't drank water since Claire has access to. So
Who the fuck is
we
we?
haven't drank water since
Who is
for
we?
like 3
I drink water every day.
You haven't drank any water because we said so, and that's part of the bit.
Jesus Christ. Help me now.
You know things are bad when I'm shouting on this. Oh shit! I broke my nose shouting shit. Like remember at the beginning of the show, I'm like I haven't shouted at anybody, and now fucking Mitch. It would be Mitch that like got
Yes,
me.
let's blame Mitchell.
I am blaming him.
Yes. I like this plan of
blaming
blaming
him
Mitchell.
for my actions. Yeah.
All right.
You're just
That's
like, fuck
nice.
you guys. Yeah, okay, fuck y'all. Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna keep sipping my water, goddammit. Because I like water.
He's like, look, Claire, I drink
You
water.
are
I go boy.
you are only drinking that water because Claire asked us to.
Nah, I drink water.
Yeah, you didn't drink water the whole podcast. Matter of fact.
Okay.
Oh.
So Logan, no, Logan, I'm not gonna say anything because the funny thing is I did when the podcast started. Oh, well, no, that was the pre-show. Never mind.
See, told you. Look,
Fuck you.
see how you open your mouth too fast? Anyways.
Bitch, I will coach you. End the show, goddammit.
Listen,
Yes.
I am
Yeah.
so happy that Claire is here. This has been maybe one of the best times I've had in a very long time. I like Mitch too. I love Mitch, but it's like
You're
having
all right.
no having all of my friends here. You know, it's just it's what I wanted to have. You know, so it's
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
know.
my god, I'm blinking way too much.
It's tears, you know. That's what it is, Claire. It's tears. You missed us too. No, I fucking missed you. Like I'm really glad that you're here. No, you don't understand like how much I miss you. Like every show without you, it doesn't feel
Oh man.
like
come back on my
you know?
ego. Oof.
Anyway.
Looking so gross right now.
That's Mitch. Every time I love on you and you reject it, that's just a little, I don't know. It's a little homophobic, man. Just saying. It's a little homophobic. It's a little
homophobic. Don't you fucking do this again.
Just a little homophobic.
Please not do this again.
Why do you shy away from male intimacy?
I don't shy away from male intimacy. I shy away from Logan intimacy.
I'm a male. And that's my intimacy.
But you're you.
I'm not really saying anything like controversial.
No, it's just
I love you, Mitch.
You.
Yeah, you saw his face then? All right, anyways. As always, share the show if you like the show. Share the show if you hate the show. You should share the show if you hate it, just because, like, you know, we're a small stream and you should support us. You should support small businesses.
Why should they do shit for us if they hate us? Like,
because, like, maybe they
manipulative bullshit.
You should have a good heart about it. Like, help people out.
Man,
just because.
You know people don't have no good heart. What are you talking about?
Damn.
Anybody who has come into the karmic path of this show has a good heart.
Wow, that's got to be like the deepest shit I think you've said.
Thank you. Anyways, have a good evening, have a good morning, have a good night. I do want to say something before we go, because this is actually really important to me. Today's Thursday, so like the pod comes out on Sunday, but like today's Thursday, and something very sad happened where Sarah has this dog, right?
Oh, right.
And I've talked about the dog. I've talked about the dog on the show before. Her name's Sophie, and Sophie is such a wonderful dog. She's such a wonderful human being, basically. Okay, and the best story I can ever think of is, one day, like, I was staying with Sarah and like her family and like the dog, and her cousins came over and they had their little yippy dog, all right? And the little yippy dog hates me for some reason. I don't know why, right? And Sarah's dog pretty much is okay with me. I never thought like her dog like loved me or anything. So like I'm just in this house with these dogs, right? So what happened is, Sarah's little yippy dog, like her cousin's little yippy dog, like I walked out and it just lunged at me. Like it tried to like attack me. And the dog's like 1.5 feet off the ground. So it doesn't really bother me. I could just move it out the way. But for some reason, it just pissed Sarah's dog off, Sophie. And she just lunged off the couch. Now, Sophie is a 16-year-old dog. Like, this is an elderly dog, right? So, like, to watch this old-ass dog, like, use all the strength in her body and just, like, jump across a whole fucking couch and, like, jump in front of this other dog and, like, literally say, fuck off, was the best moment in my life. Like, last year, after like all
really?
the stuff I was going on.
Friends.
Thank you. That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I didn't know you loved me.
That's really sweet, actually.
Gave that dog so many treats after that. And I have to bring this up because I love Sophie so much. I loved her before then, but like after that, I was like, I'm sold. You know? Like this is like this is my, yes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sophie was getting older and older and older though, and Sophie is a 16-year-old dog. Like that's the oldest dog in the world. And like, unfortunately, today what happened is they had to put the dog down. They had to put Sophie down. And so I just wanted to say like at least some anecdote to like preserve her memory a little bit, and to say rest in peace, Sophie. I hope wherever you are, you know, it's a good place. That's all. I didn't want to leave on such a downer, but I love Sophie, and I couldn't leave the whole show without saying anything about her. Okay.
Shout out to Sophie.
You know, I've just done my fucking makeup.
Well, you got that good money makeup. I don't want to, you know, come on.
Sophie deserves tier marks. She deserves at least a mascara line. Like,
yeah,
she deserves that much. How dare you?
With your new money makeup, you got to draw the mascara line. Say bye to the people, Claire.
Goodbye, guys. I love you.
Say bye to the people, Mitch.
Unit shutting down.
At least it was short.
Like one of those 80s sci-fi movies.
Oh God. As always, this has been the Milk and Toast podcast, episode 35. Have a good night.
How many have I missed? Damn.
Yeah, right?
35. That's ridiculous.
And
we're almost on 40.
Can we leave?